We're kicking off with WWE, and back in December, the Wyatt Six suffered a major setback when they lost to the Final Testament in a high-stakes 8-man tag team match. The group didn't just lose, though, as Wade Keller reports that Bo Dallas sustained a shoulder injury while in the ring with Karrion Kross, resulting in Uncle Howdy being absent from TV. Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Eric Rowan continued to make sporadic appearances, with fans intrigued to see the group debut on Netflix, but that never came to be. That debut never materialized, likely due to Bo's recovery, and the group was quietly moved to SmackDown and the faction's storyline put on hold. The plan had been for the Wyatt Six to be a part of Raw's Netflix debut, with Alexa Bliss set to return the following week on the January 13th show. Bliss was expected to join the group in the following weeks, but Dallas's injury forced WWE's creative to rethink plans, as did contract issues between Bliss and WWE. Those issues have left Bliss's comeback uncertain, and at this point in time, it's unknown when Bo will fully be recovered, continuing to leave the Wyatt Six's future in limbo. Do you think the Wyatt Six are losing momentum due to their absence, or will their eventual return be worth the wait? And what about Alexa Bliss? Can she and WWE resolve their differences, or is this the beginning of the end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Now, Becky Lynch's previous contract with WWE finished in June of 2024, and despite recent reports that she signed a new contract with WWE, fans are yet to see the man back in the ring. On the hump, Sean Ross Sapp addressed Lynch's status and made clear WWE is mapping out her next move with the company. It's been reported that Lynch's return will be a major moment and set up storylines at WrestleMania 41, and WWE wants to wait for the right moment for her comeback. Lynch may have re-signed with WWE earlier this month, but that never meant she'd be coming back right away, as WWE isn't going to throw her back on TV just because they can. The former women's champion was spotted at some Netflix-related events, though sources stated at the time she was just there to support WWE and not set up an angle. WWE and Lynch are said to be in a good place, but now attention turns to whenever Triple H's creative team decides that the right time has come and pull the trigger. The 8th annual Women's Royal Rumble match is happening this Saturday, and a surprise return could be on the table, but there's no confirmation of that just yet. If the Rumble passes without Lynch, fans may have to wait for Raw or SmackDown to see her back, but fans will see her return, even if it's unclear when that'll be. Should WWE pull the trigger at the Royal Rumble, or would it be smarter to save Lynch's return for an even bigger moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The Men's Royal Rumble will also take place this weekend, and while WWE has brought a giant in for the event, it's unclear if he'll actually compete. PW Insider were the first to report that WWE was bringing Omos to the Royal Rumble, and now sources have confirmed that WWE has been discussing his involvement. Fightful Select were the ones to report that WWE isn't sure if they'll use Omos, who in recent years has been saved for media appearances and battle royals. With that said, Omos turned a lot of heads with his recent run in Pro Wrestling Noah, a run that saw the WWE superstar hold the GHC Tag Team Championships with Jack Morris. Omos's willingness to step out of his comfort zone and work in Japan reportedly impressed many in WWE, adding intrigue to a potential return to programming as part of the Royal Rumble. Omos may not be the only notable name appearing this weekend, as according to sources, several NXT stars are being considered for both Royal Rumble matches. Reigning NXT champion Oba Femi and former champ Trick Williams are being considered, as are reigning NXT Women's Champion Julia and the woman she defeated, Roxanne Perez. Trish Stratus competed in the first Women's Royal Rumble in 2018, and on Instagram this week confirmed that she'll be in Indianapolis, the home of this year's event, this Friday. While Stratus said she'd be there for a signing with Fanatics, this post led many to speculate that Stratus could be part of the Women's Rumble just one day after this appearance. Since August 2024, WWE has made occasional references to Brock Lesnar on TV, with Drew McIntyre even referencing his WrestleMania 36 win over Lesnar on this week's Raw. This has led some to theorize that WWE is testing the waters for a return, though the Wrestling Observer reports that fans shouldn't expect Lesnar back until the Janelle Grant lawsuit is finished. It's been reported that there's been no movement to bring Lesnar back despite these teases, and with the Grant case still not showing signs of ending soon, he may miss the road to WrestleMania 41. For now, Lesnar remains part of the active roster page on WWE.com, but an appearance at the Royal Rumble this weekend remains unlikely, despite Brock being referenced on TV. Randy Orton is another name fans haven't seen in a long time, as the former world champion was taken out in November 2024 with an attack and package piledriver by Kevin Owens. Later in that show, Michael Cole provided an update announcing that Randy Orton was being evaluated for undisclosed cervical injuries, but what's next for the Viper? Now it's being reported that Orton is all set to be a part of the Royal Rumble event, and it'll be interesting to see what role he takes on the show. While a spot in the men's match seems the obvious idea, Orton could interfere in Owens' ladder match with Cody Rhodes, costing the prizefighter the WWE Championship in the process. Orton is already a two-time winner of the Royal Rumble, and will the Legend Killer make it 3 wins this Saturday, or will he focus on payback on KO? Fans will find out soon enough. AJ Styles has been out of action with a Liz Frank injury since October 2024, an injury he suffered in his first match for WWE after being off TV since June. Though often misdiagnosed as a simple sprain, a Liz Frank injury is far more serious, with recovery times ranging from 6 to 8 weeks for minor injuries to 6 months to a year. Earlier this month, Styles responded to a fan on Twitter sharing that this injury is challenging, but could the Phenomenal One make a phenomenal return this weekend? According to PW Insider Elite, WWE is hopeful that Styles will be cleared and able to return for this weekend's show, presumably as part of the Men's Royal Rumble. With that said, there have been conflicting reports on Styles, as others have stressed that WWE does not want to rush Styles until he's 110% ready to get back in the ring. With that in mind, nothing can be confirmed about his return, and while it would be exciting to see him back this weekend, fans shouldn't be holding their breath for the former WWE champion. In September, Ilya Dragunov went down with a torn ACL suffered during a live event, and at the time, it was believed he'd be out of action for anywhere from 6 to 9 months. However, as we previously reported, Dragunov was recently spotted at the WWE Performance Center, leaving fans excited that a return could be coming far sooner than expected. In an update, sources have revealed that the plan is for Dragunov to compete in the Men's Royal Rumble match, as he's exceeded all expectations for his recovery time. As for what comes for the Mad Dragon after this, that remains to be seen, but fans can expect Dragunov to do what he does best as part of this weekend's Men's Royal Rumble match. More from the injured list, as Jade Cargill was written off TV in November 2024, with conflicting reports at the time as to whether she was injured or if this was just an angle. It's since been reiterated that Cargill was dealing with a legitimate injury, but the former AEW star has since been spotted several times at the WWE Performance Center. This has led many fans to speculate that Cargill's return is coming soon, and it's now been confirmed that she will be at the Royal Rumble PLE in Indianapolis. It was in last year's Women's Royal Rumble that Jade made her WWE in-ring debut, and the storm could indeed be coming within a matter of days at this year's event. One name fans would love to see back in the ring is Big E, as this March will mark 3 years since the tragic broken neck injury he suffered on SmackDown in 2022. For some time, there have been reports that Big E has been making progress towards an eventual in-ring return, with many predicting that a feud with the New Day will happen. With that said, there are conflicting reports about the Royal Rumble, and it's currently not confirmed whether he's been cleared for action or not. WWE's creative team are reportedly trying to decide whether to bring him back for a Royal Rumble return or save it for another day, such as a spot on WrestleMania 41. The fact that WWE are having these talks is at least a sign that Big E could be close to getting physical once again, but in the end, it'll be Big E's long-term health that takes priority. Of course, a Royal Rumble wouldn't be a Royal Rumble without some surprise entrants from the past, and there's bound to be some legends for the first PLE of the Netflix era. It was at Halloween Havoc that Bubba Ray Dudley showed he could still go in the ring, while JBL has been delivering clotheslines left and right for the past year or so. Fans shouldn't count out either man as being a part of this year's Men's Royal Rumble match, as the road to WrestleMania 41 is set to kick off in an explosive way this Saturday in Indianapolis. Well, what did you make of these Royal Rumble updates? Who do you hope to see make a surprise appearance, and who are you hoping to see win the 2 matches? Share your picks down below. This year marks a decade since AJ Lee parted ways with WWE, and ever since then, there have been calls by fans for the former Divas champion to return. With CM Punk now in WWE, fans are more hopeful than ever before, and now Mr. AJ Lee may have teased his wife's return coming very soon. In a video that has since gone viral, Jackie Redmond asked Punk what fans can expect in the Women's Royal Rumble, and the subject of surprises came up. Punk raised his eyebrows at the idea of a surprise return in the women's match and teased AJ's return, saying that, "There's a big one that I'm not going to say because I'm going to get in trouble." Punk gave a coy look to the camera, and time will tell if this is indeed the tease of AJ Lee's return to WWE that fans have been hoping for, or if the best in the world was just having fun. Lee herself hasn't ruled out an in-ring return, though she has remained on the sidelines, and even during her run with WOW, she stayed backstage as a producer rather than in the spotlight. Do you think AJ Lee's return will come this weekend given Punk's comments, or is he just setting fans up to be disappointed? Share your thoughts down in the comment section. WWE Hall of Fame news now, as Triple H is getting his long overdue singles induction as part of the class of 2025. The announcement took place in a WWE Town Hall meeting where Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker surprised the game, who was caught completely off guard by the announcement. Reacting immediately to the announcement, Triple H admitted that for someone who typically has something to say, he was at a loss for words. He shared, "From a guy that usually has something to say about everything, I'm speechless. I'm gonna kill Nick Khan when we leave here. If you see somebody flying off the roof, just ignore it. I don't know what else to say, just thank you." Well, this marks Triple H's first solo induction. The Game is already a member of the WWE Hall of Fame, as he was recognized for his work as part of DX back in 2019. Triple H will be the 8th ever two-time Hall of Fame inductee, and will be the first to be inducted for his role as a single star after being inducted as part of a team or group. The Game is a worthy inductee given his career accomplishments, which include 14 world title reigns and his contributions to WWE as the company's chief content officer. After undergoing cardiac surgery in 2021, Triple H officially retired from the ring in 2022, but his presence in WWE remains strong as he shapes the company's creative present and future. On Twitter, Stephanie McMahon shared that, like her husband, Michaels and Undertaker got me too, and she was grateful that the pair made the decision for Triple H to be inducted. Stephanie added that Triple H would never have chosen himself as an inductee and sent a congratulations to my king, who has earned your place in immortality. Triple H's legacy is undeniable, and his solo induction solidifies his place among the greats, and fans can expect one of the biggest Hall of Fame inductions in history over WrestleMania weekend. On the January 3rd edition of SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton cashed in the Money in the Bank contract, and the following week, the new champ demanded that everyone put some respect on her name. At the time, many drew a comparison to Mandy Rose, who used a similar verbiage in NXT, and this line didn't go unnoticed by the former superstar. On her Power Alphas podcast, Rose shared that she received a ton of messages after Stratton's line, and was surprised that this used the same kind of tone. Rose continued that she thought she and Stratton were cool, as Mandy has put her over on the podcast and said she and Stratton can admire and respect one another. However, Rose took issue with the line, saying, "We can't take our words from each other," and fans will recall that these two shared the NXT locker room for a period of time. Back then, Rose was the NXT Women's Champion while Stratton was still finding her footing in the brand, and while Rose isn't opposed to being admired, she's no fan of lines being stolen. Stratton has yet to respond to Rose's claim, and fans have been wondering if the WWE Women's Champion intentionally referenced Rose, or if this was just one big coincidence. Either way, Mandy Rose doesn't want to hear it again, and do you think she has a point, or is this all just part of being a pro wrestler? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Earlier this month, Jordynne Grace signed a multi-year deal with WWE, with fans excited as to when her first match as a fully fledged superstar will be. With the Royal Rumble just days away, Jordynne Grace recently tried to shut down speculation about her being at this weekend's event, though fans and wrestlers aren't buying it. On Twitter, Grace claimed she'd be nowhere near Indianapolis this weekend, as she'll be hosting her mom's 50th birthday party, and shared proof, a ticket to Austin, Texas. Many fans believe there's something fishy with this claim, and even AJ Francis, her former colleague in TNA, told Grace, "We don't believe you." Many think Grace is set for a Rumble appearance, while some have predicted that there's something deeper going on given how quickly Grace signed with WWE after exiting TNA. WWE hasn't confirmed or denied claims of Grace appearing this weekend, but her credibility is taking a hit, and we'll have to see if Grace really is in Texas this weekend or not. Do you think Jordynne Grace is really skipping the Royal Rumble, or is she just trying to throw fans off? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Guys, with so much happening today, we had a ton of news to cover. Rather than flooding you with too much content at once, we've decided to release our AEW Dynamite review as a separate video. Stay tuned, our exclusive AEW review drops at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. For years, controversy has followed Tessa Blanchard, as allegations would derail her first run with TNA in 2020, and now there's been claims about her conduct in CMLL. According to Chris Featherstone, Blanchard had several problems during her tenure with CMLL, including allegedly yelling at some of the women in the locker room. This allegedly led to meetings with the boss of CMLL and the whole women's roster because of all this drama, and Blanchard is yet to respond to these latest allegations. Blanchard returned to TNA in late 2024, and despite backlash among fans, has been received well backstage so far, with no issues or problems being reported backstage. But what do you think of Blanchard's return to TNA and these claims about her run with CMLL? Let us know down in the comments. As a WWE superstar, wrestlers become recognizable names around the world, but this week Asuka shared a worrying situation related to being a star. On Twitter, Asuka shared that she's been feeling in danger as of late, so much so that the police have been contacted and is wary that a fan might cross the line. Asuka said how she fears something might happen when a fan approaches her at the airport or in a city, and this scares her and makes her unable to respond. The frank revelation comes after Asuka recently said that fans shouldn't have romantic feelings for her, saying it's meaningless and 100% pointless. Asuka's open discussion about the perils of being a star have shown that making it in wrestling does have its setbacks, and one can only hope that these issues are eventually a thing of the past. Are you surprised by Asuka's openness about being fearful that a fan may cross a line with her? Share your take on this situation down in the comments section. And we're ending with more from WWE's Town Hall meeting, as during the event, a new project led by Stephanie McMahon was announced. PW Insider reports that McMahon has been working on a project similar to ESPN's NFL series Peyton's Places, which focuses on seminal moments from NFL history. The report notes that McMahon's show has already seen content filmed with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Cody Rhodes, and several other names from wrestling. This show is in the pipeline, but there's no word on when fans will see it, but expect discussions with some of WWE's biggest names down the line.